Chelsea fans, welcome back to Talking Chelsea. Welcome back to another match preview, the last match preview of this season. Chelsea face Real Betis in the Conference League final. Chelsea in another European final, an opportunity to complete the set. So in today's video, we're going to be going over what's recently been said by the likes of Levi Colwill and other players, and also predicting Chelsea's strongest 11 to secure the Conference League title. And before we get into the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you are a Chelsea fan who enjoys Chelsea content. We're on the road to 10k by the end of 2025. Kieran Gill has reported what Levi Colwill said about the Conference League final, and he said if we win it, it will make us the most complete club in football, and that's huge. That's bragging rights for the fans, so we definitely need to win it for them. And this is very, very important, people. This is incredibly important because it does mean we complete the set. Regardless of what you think about this competition, I've personally been quite excited to go through this competition with an extremely young squad, seeing a lot of academy guys get to their opportunities, get their chances, get assists and goals and minutes under their belt in a European competition. I think people overlook that a little because they look down upon this competition. But the way I always see it, you can only play who's in front of you. You've got to be in it to win it. We'd be saying the same if we're in the Europa League. We would say the same if we're in the Champions League. We are in it to win it. And Chelsea have gone along this competition and broken records. And people can say it's expected. Fine. You can have that opinion. You know, it's valid. However, you've got to look at this very young squad and how much it means to them. You could see the celebrations at full time after Nottingham Forest, how much they really wanted to secure Champions League football and how much it meant to them. And people were saying, oh, why are you celebrating how the mighty have fallen? And it's not a celebration of, oh my God, we're top four. It's more, we are now on the right step. We're on the right approach to where we used to be, where we should be with this squad of players, with an injection of a few top quality experienced players this summer, hopefully. We now have the funds to do that. We have the financial headroom. We can now secure our number one targets rather than having to have lesser money, lesser targets because we didn't secure Champions League football. But the Conference League final is the last game of the season for us. Before the Club World Cup, it's almost like the cut-off of this season, and it is so important that we go and secure this trophy, because imagine being Chelsea Football Club being the only team to win every UEFA competition, first in history to do it, I think, across Europe. It would be unbelievable. It would be absolute limbs. And I'd be so happy for this squad. Now, the problem Enzo Marasca's got is who is he going to field for this team? And that's who we're going to go over right now, go through who I feel will be best. Then we know that Jorgensen is confirmed as the goalkeeper, but everything else is pretty much up for grabs. I am excited and nervous about this final because I want us to get it over the line. And yes, there's a lot less pressure because we have secured Champions League football, but it would be the cherry on top if we can finish this season with a European trophy as well as qualifying for the Champions League. For me, the objectives ticked off, job well done. Let's then use this as a springboard in the summer to really improve and kick on next season. Now, like I just said, Jorgensen has been confirmed to be the goalkeeper starting in the Conference League final. I think that's very well deserved. He's played the entire competition. I think Sanchez may have played one game or so. I don't know. I might be imagining that. But Jorgensen's played well throughout this competition. He's had his shaky moments, of course, but he's made some really good saves, and his distribution is a lot better than Sanchez. We know this. But when it comes to the rest of the team, I'm nervous even picking this, you know, because Enzo Marasca has to kind of have a balance here of players that have deserved it because they've played well through the competition, but also this is a one-off game. This is 90 minutes of football that we need to win by any means. I don't care if it's a scrappy 1-0 and we get it over the line, or if we absolutely destroy Betis 4-0. I don't care either way. As long as Chelsea win when that full-time whistle goes, I will be happy. And I don't want none of this penalty stuff either, man. I really don't, because that is blood pressure through the roof. Now, for left-back, I am going to go with Marc Cucurella, just because there's no other options, really. Shame I can't spell. Cucurella, best left-back in the league, and look, he's so integral to how Enzo Marasca's system works, how we play. He inverts naturally from the left. We find him in like the 10 half spaces and stuff, which is wild. He's like one of our top goal scorers in 2025. He's just had a very consistent season, so we just need him. When it comes to the centre-backs, this is where things get interesting, because I feel like Levi Colwill will start on that left-hand side because he's available over Badiashile. And then when it comes to the right-sided centre-back, Chalobah was rested, so I feel like he will play. And it was a bit of a bold move from Marasca to play Tosin and Colwill against Forest, but it makes a lot of sense when you really break it down in terms of aerial threat, a little bit more experience of being in them tighter games, playing for Fulham for a few years and being in the Premier League, being that little bit older, being calm on the ball and just putting his body on the line defensively. When it comes to this final, I feel like Chalobah may edge it, though, if I'm being honest. And we really like the Chalobah-Colwill partnership. It just seems to be getting better and better and better. And Chalobah has a big question mark over his future at Chelsea, which, in my opinion, I feel like we should keep him. We don't need to be selling all of our academy graduates now. We have financial headroom. We've hopefully getting a shirt sponsor next season with Champions League football, and we are going to be offloading players. But I'm hoping Chalobah isn't one of those players because it's pure profit. I feel like this season, or the half season that he's been back, should be showing him enough, plus what he did last season, that he is more than good enough to be part of this Chelsea team, and he's a very vital asset in this squad. When it comes to right back, I'm going Reece James. We've got to go classic Reece James playing right back. If you want to invert Cucurella. I don't mind that. He's very natural at doing it. He's very good at doing it. Let's not invert Reece James. Let's not play him in midfield because it's the Conference League. Because like I said, this is a one-off game. You need to play your strongest 11. You need to get things over the line. And again, we saw it against Nottingham Forest. He played right back. He inverted a couple times in the first half, but not much. Cucurella mainly did the inverting. And again, happy with that. Let's keep Reece James as a right back, defending as he does. And if we can get him overlapping, it completely changes the way that we play. And I don't feel like Real Betis will know what to do with that. Because yes, they're going to be studying. They're not on the greatest run of form currently. Chelsea are on the rise of their run of form and the amount of games and wins we've picked up, points we've picked up in this sort of death run, last 7 or 8 games. We're conceding less goals. I just feel like that is the right move. Now, when it comes to this double pivot, it's got to be Caicedo. Now, a lot of people will be begging and screaming for Lavia, and I would be too in terms of defensive stability, but unfortunately, he's not in the Conference League squad. So he can't play. So it's going to be Caicedo and Enzo. I don't want to be seeing KDH in this lineup to start. If he's got a job and a role to do later on in the game to see things out and control things because we're winning, I'm easy with that. I don't mind it. Get it over the line by any means necessary. But to start the game, we need Enzo and Caicedo. Now, when it comes to the left-hand side, I don't know who to play because I think Tyreek George has earned the right to get some minutes in this final. I don't know whether he's going to start, though. I feel like we're going to play Noni Madueke on the left-hand side. And I would be very happy with that. Noni Madueke on the left feels like a brand new player, and there are still Chelsea fans who are unconvinced about Noni Madueke's ability, and I don't know what to tell you. He's got 15 GA this season. I think Neto's got the same. I think he's been very good for us. He's very direct, and yeah, all right, he might lose possession, but he's not scared to take a shot. He's not scared to go at his man. He's just not scared to try and create something, and I really like that. If we had more of an aerial threat, I think Madueke and Neto, to be fair, because all he does is head down, cross the ball, would have a lot more assists this season. But Madueke on that left, I don't know, it just unlocks a different dimension to Chelsea's game, and it works very well in the times that we've seen it. So I feel like Marasca could go for something like that against Betis. Now, when it comes to the 10, obviously it's going to be Mr. Cole Palmer. Obviously, KDH will not be starting over him. He could potentially put Enzo in that 10 and then KDH just behind, but I really hope he doesn't. He needs to go full strength as much as he can. And again, I don't feel like there has to be a balance because obviously some players have earned the right. I feel like, he's come out and said Jorgensen will be starting, and I back that. There's not really much of a difference between Sanchez and Jorgensen. Sanchez has improved in the second half of the season, valid, but I still don't think there is much of a difference between the two other than distribution, and Jorgensen clears. So, that's fair enough. The rest of the pitch, I think you just have to play the strongest 11. I do think that there will be people that get a lot of minutes though. So I feel like George will still get some minutes. I feel like KDH will get some minutes. God forbid anyone gets injured. Hopefully they don't. But there may be an opportunity for Badiashile to come on in the second half and see the game out. Or Tosin. There may be... Ashimpong may get some minutes as well, depending on how the game's going. But to start, we have to start on the strongest foot. We have to start with intensity. We have to go at them. It's as simple as that. Finals are a different type of game. It doesn't matter how pretty or ugly it is. Just get it over the line. When it comes to the right-hand side, I feel like it has to be Pedro Neto. You could play Jadon Sancho, right? You could play Jadon Sancho on the right, Madueke on the left. They could then switch and then play Neto as a 9. But if I'm being brutally honest, I feel like Enzo Marasca is more than likely going to go with Neto for the breaks, Madueke for the breaks, and how direct they can be and how much they can swing the ball in. And I feel like the number 9 isn't going to be Tyreek George. It isn't going to be Christopher Nkunku. It's not going to be Mark Guiu. It will be Nicholas Jackson. And there'll be a lot of fans that are upset about that. And I totally get it. What he did at Newcastle was just silly. But at the end of the day, it's a red card. He's going to learn from it. We need to move on from it. We can't hold it against him. We've seen many, many players. That's like us saying, Diego Costa should never play again because he got sent off with a silly foul that he shouldn't have done. He was an incredible striker, and I'm not saying that Jackson is on Costa's level. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is he's a centre forward, a recognised centre forward at Chelsea Football Club that is available to play, and he's fit. So I feel like on that basis, Enzo Marasca will be playing Nicholas Jackson in that 9 role. I don't see any other option. If he plays in Nkunku, what is he playing with 10 men? I don't really see an opportunity for Nkunku to be playing in this 11. I don't feel like he's deserved it. Yes, he played well in the early stages of the Conference League and he scored a lot of goals, granted, but the way the second half of the season's gone with injuries and how he doesn't want to be here, and you can just see the lack of effort, which seems to be a lack of effort on the pitch. I don't want him anywhere near this final. If he has to come on and do a job in the second half, cool. I still won't be happy about it, but I get it, when in terms of game management to see the game out. Cucurella's got a massive job. Reece James has got a massive job. And I feel like Caicedo's got a huge job dealing with the likes of Anthony and Isco and some other really good Betis players that, when on their day can play exceptionally well. But I feel like we can nip their attacks in the bud. We can dominate the game possession-wise. We just need to be clinical when we go forward and create chances. It's something we do. We create chances. We're just not clinical enough. And I feel like this is the type of game where you need to be clinical. We do not want a repeat of last season, semi-final of the FA Cup against City, where we dominated on the counter-attacks, had loads of chances, but just couldn't finish, and then ultimately ended up losing. We don't want a repeat of that, and I don't think it will be. I feel like the boys are going to be really up for the occasion, regardless of what fans think, because again, it's split. Like I said, I've been excited about this competition. It's new, it's exciting, we can complete the set. And again, this is a very young squad. Getting their hands on silverware will be absolutely monumental in terms of development going into next season. And a lot of people are just like, yeah, it's tin pot, tin pot, tin pot. Cool. I respect people's opinions, but in my opinion, you can't really sniff at anything European. It is what it is. You've got fans that are like downplaying Spurs' win in the Europa League. Like, what is the internet come to? Like, it's still it might be the second string or below the Champions League, whatever. Still a European trophy. Conference League is still a European trophy, regardless of how you view it. You can compare it to previous UEFA competitions, cool, whatever. But the here and now, as it's a Euro. I don't know if it's considered a major. I assume it is a major European trophy. I'm not entirely sure because they count the Europa League. So surely the Conference League's part of that. It's part of the whole set of UEFA. But the way I see it is, it's history in the making. History in the making, and for an extremely young squad to go out and get their hands. We want to see armpits on Wednesday. That is what we want to be seeing. And if that is what we get, I will be so happy for this squad. And Marasca as well. The criticism that he and the team have had to deal with all season, we are expected to win this. There is a lot of pressure on this game. There was a lot of pressure on the Nottingham Forest game, and we managed to see it out with a very well-executed game plan of being defensive, getting the goal, soaking up the pressure, getting over the line. I don't think we'll play a similar style of game against Betis. We may well do that. I think we're going to have to go at them, get the lead, and then sit back. I don't feel like this is going to be a well-poised. I feel both teams may be nervous about this. And again, this is new territory for our squad. Very young, European final. There's a lot of pressure. The fans are going to be amazing there for both teams. It's a final. It has to be. And I'm gutted that I can't be going there. But yeah, I feel like this will be the Chelsea 11. It's pretty much our strongest 11. The only real change there is Jorgensen. I mean, I could be hideously wrong. Marasca could surprise us with his lineup, but I feel like this would be the strongest team that we can play and the best chance that we have from the get-go of securing that final European trophy to collect the set. So that's my predicted Chelsea 11 to face Real Betis in the Conference League final. Do you agree with this lineup or do you disagree? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. I love having a conversation with you guys. And also let me know your thoughts on what Levi Colwill said about this being a massive thing for the club in terms of being a complete football club. Now, if you have watched this video all the way to the end, firstly, you're a real one. And I mean that. You are a real one. But secondly, there'll be a thumbnail that appears on the screen. So if you are a Chelsea fan who enjoys Chelsea content, make sure you click that thumbnail because you'll enjoy that video too.